But we're gonna get into our usual nonsense here, where we talk about what we think is gonna happen. We got prediction picks in a game that Alex is winning. We'll go over the scores because I had to correct my mistakes from last week. So we'll go over all that. But we're excited for race week this week. Alex, this is another sprint race weekend coming up. How does that raise your excitement level? Lower it? What's it do for you?
Is it following the last year's sprint format, or are they doing the one they did earlier this year? You
No, I
know,
think I think all sprints will be in the new sprint format.
yeah. So I'm gonna say no because that new sprint format makes no sense.
You know what? I like that. Like I feel like you really easily could have been like, oh yeah, so excited, more racing. That would have been like a very common like just answer to like. But
Hmm.
I agree. The fact that it doesn't affect the race on Sunday, it's like cool, but I'm with you. It doesn't like
It,
get me
it,
overly excited.
it deters a lot because I mean the top of the grid is pretty much solidified with the Red Bulls and you know pretty much almost gonna win every race this season. But it sucks too for like the lower tier teams like the Williams and the Alpha Tauris and the Alpha Rebels and stuff, where like this sprint race really serves no purpose for them whatsoever, and they're just wasting their engines and tires for nothing because they're not going to get points unless it's top eight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just stupid. This whole
And
format is just ridiculous.
and something we've talked about, the only thing that they get out of this sprint race format is like maybe a little bit more data, but because the cars are in park ferment, you can't even make that many.
Yeah,
You can't make like any adjustments.
yeah, it
Um,
sucks. It's ridiculous.
yeah,
I don't know.
what maybe that should be a thing. Like if you don't finish top eight or you finish like 15th to 20th, you're allowed to make adjustments that no one else can make. I like it.
Well, it's not a bad idea. A little gimmicky,
Yeah,
but
definitely gimmicky. But you're so right. If you know, there's this sprint race is only a handful of laps, and if you're halfway through it and you're in 18th, there's literally no point of you doing the race.
100%.
And
And
sometimes because these races are so short, they'll start on like a soft tire and try to run it the whole sprint race, and they probably won't even touch a soft tire during the race. They'll race like medium
yeah,
hard lately, so you know it serves what seems to be no point. But what do you like? Do you like this track, Red Bull Ring?
I actually don't mind it. I think it's a decently designed. It's definitely catered towards the Red Bulls, like the whole design philosophy. Obviously, because that's what they do their testing, right? Here for their cars.
I don't think so.
Because I know Mercedes does theirs at Silverstone, and I think McLaren does too. I'm not sure. Anyways, um, last year, if I remember correctly, this Leclerc's last win last year.
No, I want to say Max won this race.
Let me double check that. No, yeah, Leclerc won here last year,
Did he?
2022, 2022, right? Yeah,
You know what?
yeah,
I think
2022.
I
Leclerc
think
did win.
Max might have won
Verstappen got
this.
P2,
Yeah, I think Max might have won the sprint race. Um,
maybe.
and then
But
yeah, I can actually look right here. Sprint.
yeah,
Yeah,
because
Max.
Checo I think spun out pretty early,
Yeah,
if I
Max.
remember right, and that's what hurt them.
Max. Max won the sprint, so I think everyone just thought on Sunday it was going to be more of the same. And then you're right. Leclerc did win, and Sites had the engine that caught on fire,
Yep.
and then
Oh, yep, yep. I remember that. And then they started rolling.
rolling backwards. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yep. Um,
And then
yeah. So
Max
I
got
mean,
P2. Lewis got a podium.
yeah. The
Um,
track's very fast.
this
Remember,
I'm curious actually what's going to happen at this race because I think I don't want to put hopes in that Mercedes can actually compete to win this race, but they did okay at this track last season
they
with the
did.
new
They did.
design philosophy. I don't know. It's just that straight line speed the Red Bull has is untouchable in the
Yeah.
DRS. So,
Lewis
but we'll
Lewis
see.
wrecked Lewis wrecked in qualifying last year. George finishes fourth in that race after a first lap incident. I don't want to say he like pitted, and I don't know if they changed the front wing, but George got into a first lap incident in that race and recovered to finish fourth. So um, yeah, there's some
We'll see.
potential in this race. Do you see the reports this week that like Toto Wolff was very happy with the pace of the Mercedes at Canada.
Yeah, obviously I know they were going to Canada with low expectations because they were expecting to not do well here because they didn't feel like I'm sorry, at Canada because they felt like the track didn't cater to their car at all. Um, I saw a bunch of reports this week. A lot of upgrades not coming in here, but just in general in the future. I think Ferrari's bringing a new floor. Um, Mercedes has a big upgrade coming, and Silverstone. I want to say McLaren might be bringing one too pretty soon. There's a lot of upgrades, and I'm interested to see more or less where the Ferrari goes with this new floor design. Because if they can get it right, I wouldn't mind to see them competing with the top cars again.
Yeah, I think, like we talked about last week, I think their race pace was kind of hidden by their poor starts last week.
Yeah,
So I think if they put together good qualifying, which they tend to have a better qualifying car than a race car, uh, like a race
that's
pace,
true.
I think
Mm-hmm.
this may be pretty good, dude. I think we may have some action here this weekend.
I agree.
It's just a feeling.
I also think, well, Ferrari, I know data wise, had the fastest car in Canada. I think Red Bull was just kind of like toying around.
Yep.
Well, Max was, anyways. Checo was obviously trying to fight through the field, but like Max ran over a curb pretty hard, and he's just laughing about it. Like they just had the race in the bag. They weren't really putting everything out there on the line. Um, but I won't take anything away from Ferrari. It seems like they might have something going, and hopefully they can have put together a good weekend, and the strategy doesn't fuck it up for them.
Yeah. Um, it's just like how crazy, and I don't think they're far off. I think we could have like a Mercedes, Aston Martin, and Ferrari battle, like, and that just
That's
that
so
just
sad.
what? Why is that sad? That's exciting.
No, that's exciting. That's exciting. I'm just saying, like, it's just so sad that neither of those teams are fighting for like P1. It's just like how far ahead Red Bull is.
Yeah, but one of these weeks where something has to happen to Red Bull, like they can't
You
win.
would think that the whole. I mean, like you would think they'd start to go to some reliability issues, but it seems like that engine's holding up pretty well.
Yeah, but listen, I've you've seen it in the past. Mercedes, what they've had brake issues when their cars were 1-2 and have had to retire. They've had engine
Yeah, that's
issues.
true.
Um, and they're probably not changing many of these engine parts. They're probably trying to drag it out as long as they can. Um,
I'm assuming when the wind tunnel testing starts to really affect them, because I want to say from here on out, it's like where their numbers are really going to drop. It might maybe these next three constructors can keep start to close the gap a little bit more,
yeah,
and hopefully by the end of the season, they're really fighting for a lead.
yeah. I think you know who I think is going to be fast here. I think your boy Alex Albon is going to be fast. Um, I mean,
The Williams has that straight line speed.
yeah, and this track has three big straightaways. These cars are definitely trimmed out when they come here. So I think the Williams will do pretty good here. To be honest with you, um, Lando drives the car very well here. Podiums during the COVID season, I'm pretty sure, and then K Mag had a pretty good run here last year. So there's some hope for this race. I
Uh,
think I think
I,
could be good.
I I could see a Hulkenberg points finish too.
Hulkenberg points finish. That's what you're calling. I like it. I like it. I like it. I can see it. I mean, well, last year they double points finished with Mick and Kevin. So you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can see that. I could see that happening. I would like to see. I'd like to see Lando put it up there, like in the midst with the Mercedes guys. I don't think their car has.
They
I think
have
it
the
has long run pace, but
no, yeah, I was gonna say they have qualifying pace, but they eat through their tires. Is why they struggle so much during race pace.
yeah, yep. But I mean, at least an exciting qualifying session will get us pretty pumped for the race. So
Yeah, I'm
um,
sure that's what's going to be the most exciting thing of the weekend again.
now could I don't know, Alex. I got a good gut feeling. I want to be wrong about this. I got a good gut feeling. The gut is telling me we're gonna have a good race this weekend.
I hope so.
Um, I think the big news, and Brooke really wanted me to talk about this today. She's out here doing content research for the show. Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. Did you see this?
Yeah, they bought into is it Alpine, right?
Yeah, they bought
They're
into
like 20,
Alpine.
they're like 24% owners or something like that.
Yeah, so Michael B. Jordan is in this investment group too with Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. I am by no means smart enough right now to understand how all this works, but they're part of a group. You know, they have a business. Um, they pool money together. This is not like Wrexham where they bought 100% ownership of that. They are only, like Alex said, a 24% partner stake in this. But they are bringing money to help the team better, and I believe the team's like just however this works with them joining the team. I think the team's valuation went up like insane. So now the team is worth more money. But I think this is something that you're gonna see is like these guys as the sport gets more popular buying in because now it's just like a sports team like their whatever $100 million investment or whatever it is will now be worth more just like we see everywhere.
Yeah, I am curious how this all works. Like, do they have like are those guys like on a board meeting or something, and they just own like percentage of the shares? I don't know. It's curious. It's curious as how it all works, but
Yeah,
it's nice to
and
see Alp and get some money, and hopefully they can you know, start to go back to the at least top of the midfield.
yeah, well, I mean, they're right
They kind of
there.
are right now.
Yeah,
They kind of are right now. They have a fast car.
I mean, they're top 10 consistently, and they're if like I really feel like if they're a fifth or a sixth place car slips up, they could be right there. Like if a Mercedes slips up, you know, Aston Martins weren't particularly fast in Spain, and they were there. One thing to note though is that Renault's engine division is separate, and that has not changed. So they still, um,
Okay.
yeah, whatever that group is, I have it. Alpine Racing SAS, that's the F1 engine. They
Hmm.
not part of the transaction, and they're owned by the Renault Group completely. So
Gotcha. Gotcha.
yeah, so they're in on the team, not in on the engine side. But I mean that's big news. That's just again this sport's gonna become more popular. Again, we already have 3 races in the United States. When you have American investors like this,
We just gotta get rid of one of them.
yeah, I'm with you. But I don't. As you know, more interest in like this grows. You know, who knows? Tom Cruise might have a team soon. Brad Pitt. You never know. Those guys have
Andrade.
Those guys have real money. Well, those
He's
poor Andretti has the
only
motor.
been begging for like the last 20 years.
Yeah, he has the motorsport name like tied up to his last name. It's like as it should be. All these other guys are buying into teams and stuff, and he can't start his own team for the life of it. Um, I get why they'd be wary about letting new teams in. Have you ever watched some of these races? I know you have from like
The old
2015,
ones, yeah, where they had like
2016.
24, 25, yeah.
And like they'd have like those last cars
Some
like
of them would be bad, yeah. They'd be like
yeah like
3 laps behind the pace. It was
yeah like
bad.
Sauber like literally when they were running like 15th the announcers would be like genuinely excited for them not like BS hype they'd be like
No, I know.
so I get
It
why
just,
they're a little hesitant but
I just think it kind of sucks because especially with how limited the points are available right now. Like, I know we talked about like maybe moving into like top 15 instead of just 10, and then just seeing cars like that just strangle behind so far. Because I remember it was bad. I want to say there was times where like because I want to say there's rules where like you can't if you qualify X amount of seconds behind the the car who posted pole like you can't even race.
yeah
And some of them were like that at times.
yeah well that was almost Sergio Perez this year they had to make an exception because he never put like a lap in at Australia when he wrecked.
Yeah,
But I guess like you could also like go to practice or something and use some of those times. I
yeah. Well, the
guess.
data's there, but yeah, definitely we're making an exception, I guess.
Yeah, but you're right though. Like they were so slow they weren't even qualifying for the race. Um, I would I would like to do the history as to why they don't give out points for every position.
I
And I
I
don't
think it's
think
something
that's
like
I don't think
sorry, yeah,
that's gimmicky because all motorsports give out points all the way down.
yeah. I kind of want to. I feel like it's because F1's very it seems very like traditional. Like
Hmm.
they kind of want to keep their own traditions alive. I'm sorry. It's very gatekeepy is the way I kind of want to word
That's a
it, I
good way.
guess.
Yep.
And it seems like like they don't want records to be broken essentially. And when Lewis went there and broke it and shattered every record imaginable except for well, 8-time champion. So I'm saying he broke that record too. Um, it's like Max really does have a chance of overtaking Lewis in wins. Max already has 40. Is it 41 right now?
41,
42,
44,
something like that. But
whatever Senna's record is.
like yeah, I think yeah, something like that. I think it's 41. But it's just like it's very feasible. They're adding more and more races. I don't think they want to see like a crazy point total by the end of the season. I don't think they want to see somebody finishing with like 1,000 points.
No, you're not wrong. But it would just it would make like every position like really matter, you know?
I I I to an extent. I think top 15. I think they should start like little by little going that way, and I think top 15 is a really good spot to be at, and then test out the water, see where everything lands and stuff. Because it'd be nice to see like when you got somebody like Max who's gapping the field by 20 plus seconds, nobody's watching the race to see where Max finishes at that point. At that point, I mean, myself this season, I've been more excited in the midfield battles, and
Yeah.
to see a guy like Yuki who's been finishing 10th, 11th, 12th almost every race, and then I know he's fallen a few times below that, but it's like and then he has what 2 total points this season. It sucks. Like there's
Yeah.
no reason he shouldn't have more, and like it's not his fault he can't get into a car as faster, and it's not. And like I said, some of the most exciting overtakes we've seen has been through um, the bottom of the midfield. Yeah, sorry, towards the end of the midfield and stuff, and like guys weren't even fighting for points, and it
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, and they'd have a little bit more juice if they were fighting for points in their battles.
It would also make teams like Williams more incentivized to like try to score as much as possible because they might not be in last place because I don't think Williams has the slowest car this year, and I know they don't. I know the constructors championship are not in last place anymore, but
I I
to
1000% do not think they have the slowest car, especially at certain tracks. I agree with you.
yeah, and it's
If you were to take like an overall thing, maybe, but not to get like if we're not picky about it, you're right. They're not the slowest car at Canada. They won't be the slowest car at Monza. Um, yeah, no, that's a good point. They are not. They're not the slowest.
so so if they're not racing, but again, they can't always put it on pole. I'm sorry, they can't always put it into the points, and it'd be nice to see those guys fighting for 15th to get that
Yeah,
last point and scrap for that. You know,
I think we'll have to do some history and look at like the history behind why they pay out the top 10 and only the top 10 in points.
it used
Um,
to be less before. I want to. I think it was like up to 8. I think it was the highest they went to for a while.
hmm. Yeah, I don't even know much about that to be honest with you. Speaking of Yuki Tsunoda and AlphaTauri, the rumors are getting spicy about Ricardo going to that team next year.
Yeah,
Even
uh,
even F1's Instagram account I think posted.
yeah, mentioned something.
Yeah, so
Uh,
I don't know.
I think it kind of sucks because I I like Danny Rick. I think he definitely deserves an F1 seat. But guys like Liam Lawson, who are in F2, have been dominating for a little while and stuff like he's never. It seems like this guy's never going to get a shot if
Yeah,
unless he goes to an AlphaTauri team, and that at this point is regarding somebody like Yuki would have to leave too, and Yuki deserves a shot in F1 too, and it's just not fair. And but I think if Danny Rick does go to the AlphaTauri next year, which it sucks for DeVries because like I do think he's capable of being in F1. I just think he got kind of dealt a shitty hand with that AlphaTauri probably being arguably one of the slower cars this year,
yeah,
and Yuki's also like out driving the car, I think. But if Danny Rick goes to AlphaTauri next year and Yuki beats him, I you got to start considering your options as a driver and as a person. Like, okay, like I'm just not good enough to be in the sport anymore. I'd like to see him compete. I think he got dealt a shitty hand with that McLaren. Like they were very clearly catered towards Lando with their design philosophy. But if he can't beat Yuki in that AlphaTauri, a guy like Liam Lawson deserves that seat. He's
yeah.
been there for far too long, and he deserves a seat.
If he doesn't beat Yuki, I think it solidifies kind of Danny Rick's career. Um, and then if Yuki does beat him, I think it solidifies that Yuki will stay around in the sport. Because if Danny Rick starts beating Yuki, then I think his career is kind of up for grabs. in my
It's
opinion.
weird. It's such a shitty spot to be in. It really is. It's like a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, and then like I think what's gonna happen is a guy like you're mentioning, Lawson, like he's gonna have to sit as a reserve driver like Piastri did for a year or two. Um, but then
Yeah.
that gets sketchy because like he was McLaren's reserve driver for a year or two, and then when it was they thought it was his time, he makes a change. So I mean that's just how this goes. Though. But if we let Andretti get into the picture, we're opening up more seats. So
That's true.
it's not a bad idea. All right, you ready to get to some gambling, some DraftKings odds here?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get over there. What is going on here? Hold on, let me fix this. All right, so um,
5 yard.
I have some stuff here, and then I actually have too. I have last week's odds. So our DraftKings odds, big shocker, Max Verstappen minus 300. Um, so he was actually more favorited last week at minus 330. So they think something's going to happen here. Sergio Perez is plus 600. He was plus 400. So the odds are losing faith in Sergio. Third here we have Lewis at plus 1100. Last week Lewis was at plus 1400. So Vegas is thinking things are swinging in his favor. Fernando was plus 1800 last week after his drive in Canada. He's plus 1100 this week. So odds are changing all favor, there. Charles Leclerc was plus 2,800 last week after their good run. He's plus 2,200, and I think the win last year. Carlos plus 4,000.
Yo, they have no respect, man.
No, that stays the same. And then the other driver to really change, there was two. Lance goes from plus 25,000 to plus 15,000 this week. So they're putting some respect on his name for some reason that makes no sense. Pierre, Lando, Esteban, all plus 25,000. And then the rest stayed the same besides Alex Albon went from plus 90,000 after his run in Canada to plus 50,000 this week. So what do you think? Odds changing in the right way? I think so.
I'd say for the most part, I that Carlos one, that's a big gap between him and Charles.
Yeah.
I still think Carlos has been driving pretty well this season. I think, but and then yeah, that's about it. That really stands out to me.
Yeah, it's just interesting that Verstappen odds change a little bit. Sergio odds go up, and then everyone else's odds are getting a little bit better. So Vegas is thinking that McLaren or Mercedes and Aston Martin are about to go on a heater here. So
Yeah, it should be interesting. Again, that Lance one is another mind boggling. Yeah, they
yeah,
really like Lando. They
I don't know
really
why
like Lando.
I don't know why the Lance odds changed like that. To be honest.
I guess it's the upgrades in the car,
Yeah, but
but
I
that's
mean,
about it. It's not like he had a
Fernando
really impressive race. Yeah,
Fernando P
Fernando
P
killed him.
two last week again, and
Yeah, Lance just got in the points barely.
I'm telling. I think I keep saying this so crazy, but like I think Lewis and George are the two drivers who are always together for their team. And I know Charles and Carlos finished near each other last week, but like
Mm-hmm.
so, they always have similar odds. That makes sense, but I don't understand. I feel like Lance gets respect from that he doesn't deserve on these odds, but whatever. Go take him
Yeah, I
at
agree.
plus 15. Go take him at plus 15,000. See what happens. This is
Imagine
not.
he
This,
imagine
yeah.
he pulls together like a victory race somehow.
Oh my god. What would a $10 bet win you? 1,000?
I don't know the math
Or
on that, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have no idea. A decent amount.
yeah, it's definitely a decent amount. All right. Are you ready to get into our picks?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I'm gonna open up the poll for you few watching at home. Again, you guys want to vote? All you have to do is type exclamation vote, and then the vote, hit the space button, and then the number that correlates next to the driver. So if you want to vote for Max Verstappen, exclamation vote, space 1, Perez, exclamation vote, space 2, and so on as there. That's on the screen. Do you know who's going first this week? I don't.
I think I went first last time, but I can't remember. But I think
All
we're
right.
both going to go with probably the same number one here. So.
No, we're absolutely not going the first.
Oh, we
No,
are.
we
Okay.
we
So
are
I'll
not.
let you go first then, or do you? Actually, you know what? I'll build the suspense a little. I'll go first, and I'm just
No,
going to go
I
with
already went
Max.
first. I already put it on the
Oh,
screen. Let me know when you see it.
fiddlesticks. I didn't see it.
Let me, let me know. Did you see it?
Not yet. I have a feeling you're going to go with Lewis here, and you got to play to win, John. You got to play to win.
I am playing to
Well,
win.
let's see what happens. Let's see what happens.
It still isn't updated yet? Wow.
There
Jeez,
we go. Yep, you're playing. You're playing. Alrighty. You
I'm
know,
going.
I hope to be
I'm going
proven
with
wrong.
it. They said the Mercedes straight line speed was good last week. We had something has to happen with the Red Bull car. We have to have some sort of incident.
All
I'm
right.
going for it this week. So,
I'm going. I'm going with Max.
oh my gosh, you're so boring.
uh,
All right, your Max here won.
okay.
You know what? Hmm. Who am I going 3? This is tough. This is real tough. I don't like this. All right, I'm just getting rid of the Red Bulls this week. They're gonna have trouble.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh, Mick, what up, baby? Voting for Russell. I thought you were a Verstappen fan, Mick. Tyler sending in the vote for Carlos. I like it. To send that vote into the poll, though, you got to hit that exclamation vote and then the driver's number after that. But I see you out here, Tyler. What are we going for number 2? Are you going to say Checo?
No, I'm going Lewis.
You're going Lewis, too?
Yeah, I'll go Lewis too.
Okay. I like
I think
it.
our polls are going to be a little bit different, but
All
well, they're
right.
going to be extremely different considering what you went with.
Oh, man. I'm telling you, it's gonna be the
This is going
articles
to be
are gonna say
tough. I don't know how to do this.
the articles are gonna say Red Bull disaster at the Red Bull Ring this week. Oh man, do I do it? Do I do it? Do I do it? All right, I'm going Charles 3.
Wow. You are throwing me for a loop. I thought you were going to go George. I'm not going to lie to you, considering you always say the Red Bulls, or I'm sorry, the Mercedes finish together. Okay.
Norris, Mick. You think Norris is gonna win this deal? You're crazy.
Wow.
I think he'll be good this week. I think McLaren's faster, but the W, that's a big swing, Mick. If you're right, I'm bringing you on the show next week. Carter voted Lewis, Alex. I'm just letting you know. So,
All right, yeah, that's fine. I might have to agree with you though. I might go Charles third.
you're going to go Charles third?
Yeah. Tough.
I don't. So we're going same Z's on the 3, huh?
Yeah.
I'm having some fun here, just to let you know. Not
I'm really
not
trying to think of that because I'm going to leave someone out that I think might deserve to be in there.
not picking Max 1 and Checo 2 is making this very fun for me. I'm going George 4.
Okay. Okay. So I don't have George finishing my top 5. I'm going to let you know that right now.
Okay, I like it.
Look.
Wait till you hear my 5th. You're not gonna believe it. It's gonna be nuts.
I might have to go Fernando 4.
You're gonna go Fernando 4.
First.
I
Is that his
think
first time finishing off the second time off podium, right? That would be this season.
I believe so, but you like how good he's been. You have to put him in your top 5.
Yeah.
I like couldn't agree. He's week in week out. He's got to be in your top 5. All right, you waiting for 5th here?
I've not seen 5 yet for you. Hold on.
Oh, I haven't typed it in yet.
Okay.
and then
You're not
once
gonna
you
go
see it,
Carlos. You're definitely not gonna go Carlos. I feel like you're gonna throw an Alpine in there. I feel like
there
an
you go,
Ocon or
Tyler. That
something.
worked. It was that space in between the vote and the 7.
Who do you got going here? Wow, I had a feeling you were gonna do that, but I didn't think you were actually gonna do that.
I'm not gonna. What?
That's
Will you let me
ballsy.
pick? Will you let me pick Esteban or Pierre? I'm really struggling. Will you let me put both of
You know
them?
what? Yeah, go ahead. In all honesty, I'm winning by quite a bit, and you will go balls to the wall with this top five. So yeah, go ahead. Take both Alpines there.
I like it. I love you so much. All right, so all that leaves left is your
This is
number
where I'm
5,
at.
Alex.
Yeah. I'm stuck between three drivers. It's either gonna be Carlos, Checo, or I guess George, but I'm throwing George off that list. So it's gonna be Carlos and Checo here. Just put Alpine.
I mean, you're
um,
you're clearly gonna win this, so I would have some fun. I mean, yes, we are
I'll
playing
go.
a game.
I'll go Carlos. I'll go Carlos. I'll go Carlos. I think Checo's gonna have another tough weekend.
Okay. So you think Max is gonna cruise out front like he normally does, get his win? Mick, thanks for the subscribe. I appreciate you, brother. You think
No fucking
Max?
Red Bulls in your top five.
No. Tell me that headline doesn't sound good.
it,
Red Bull
it
disaster at the Red Bull Ring. I'm telling you, bro.
does. Like, it's just not happening. Unless Charles just torpedoes it. I'm sorry, unless Checo just torpedoes in the Max. I really don't see it happening. But sure.
Um, Max sends it into one, hits that curb. Oh, shout outs to the cat. Now we know it's real. Um, yeah, Max hits the curb and one too hard here. That sausage curb sends him over. You never know, dude.
Jesus.
Look at this. Look at this top 5 I have: Lewis, Fernando, Charles, George, and Alpine. My dad's gonna be roasting me while this race is going on.
I was gonna say, how many points do you think you're gonna lose by?
Well, let's be honest.
Over under. Over
I
under.
think, I think I'm getting, I think I'm getting 2 to 3 points. Like,
Yeah, you're definitely gonna get some points. Fernando will probably finish up there. I think Charles is a good one.
I think, I think,
Lewis and George are
yeah,
Lewis will
Lewis
probably
and
finish up
Fernando
there.
in the top
George,
5 are
I'm
two
not.
points.
Yeah, George, I'm not sure about. Maybe I could see
You know
Charles.
what's,
I could see you getting. I could see you getting 3 points
you know what,
in this list.
you know what's funny about George is that, like, because I have him 4th. That might be right though, because that's the position he normally runs, like
That's true.
4th, 5th.
Um,
Um, but
you might
I,
get some. I mean, Fernando, you might be right on the dime with too. So you might get some more points out of that. Him finishing P2.
but also like where Sergio, he's had these run of bad races. Is it gonna last another week though, or is this like the week where he turns it around? Max
I think he's
wins,
going to
and
turn it
he's
around. I really wanted to put him in, arguably, in my top three, but
yeah,
I just wanted to be a little spicy with that. And I'm riding a little high on Carlos right now.
yeah. See, you kept Checo out of your top 5.
Yeah.
I like it. Uh, my boy Mick is with you. He says that Max doesn't make mistakes, so you catching. Looks like you're catching that dub.
I mean, he does, but that car just is too dominant. Let's not talk about how he 360 in the rain last year and still won a race.
You know what? It's it doesn't even look like a mistake though when you come back and win the race, right?
Yeah, I guess, but it's still a mistake. Like, nobody purposely is going to spin a $30 million car.
No, but we don't talk about it as a mistake because the dude
No,
just
of
goes.
course not, because he won the race because the car is that dominant and that catered to his driving style.
Oh man, I like it. Listen, I'm gonna be watching the race with a little bit more juice on it this week. Um,
Did
after
you see his dad
these
is getting
picks.
put in the legend race?
Who's dad?
Max's.
What legend race?
They're having a legend race at I forget where it is or whatever. I was like, dude, this guy I think this guy has like a total of like 2 points in his entire career.
Yeah, I mean, I think legend.
Josh is not a legend. The only thing he's legendary about is beating his family members.
Legend. I think is basically off of
That's like I think
off.
that's borderline disrespectful to the sport of F1.
You're not wrong. Um, so your new number one fan here, Mick, says that Max was just doing early victory donuts when he spun out. That's all.
Oh, okay.
So that's how that's where
What
Max
about
is.
his torpedoes in his early season? Those weren't mistakes.
What in what early? We're only talking about this year and last year when he's being
Oh,
dominant.
all
No,
right, all right.
yeah, young Max Verstappen makes this mistakes, but champion Max Verstappen just does early victory donuts, as we'll call them. Oh man. All right. Well, hey, that's pretty good picks. As we talked about before, sprint race. So how the weekend will look. There's only one practice. That's all these guys get. Friday morning, FP1. Um, Friday afternoon, we'll be qualifying for the race on Sunday. All right, so make sure to tune into that. That'll be exciting. Saturday morning, where there would normally be FP3, is um, is the sprint
Qualifying.
shootout qualifying. Yeah,
Oh,
sprint shootout is what they call it. And then what would be traditional qualifying time will be the sprint race. So, again, the finish of the sprint race has no effect on the starting order of the race this year as it did in years past. Red Bull ring. Alex thinks Max gonna win. I think Lewis is going back on top. Also, no driver has won after his 300th start too. So that's like real big on waiting for Lewis to get this win. So I know you
definitely
don't
will.
think.
He definitely will win one eventually. I think it's going to be towards, if anything, towards the later part of the season.
Wait until
But
Max
Max
wins.
just doesn't care anymore.
Wait until Max wins this race by like 20 seconds, and we're reviewing this on Monday.
I love
Oh
how
man.
somebody posted it on like Twitter or something along the lines like it's nice to see how people are starting to, close the gap between the Red Bull, and it was like a plus like 8 second gap or something like that, and, and everybody was commenting like, how is that closing the gap? And so many people were like they were like plus 25 seconds up last week.
Yeah, that's true. Um, yeah, and there was like there was a caution needed to bunch them up, or else I think the gap would have been
Yeah,
even
probably
bigger
like
in these
15,
races.
15, 20 again.
Yeah. Um, but all right, brother. I mean, we said it was gonna be short today, pretty laid back. I think we went over DraftKings odds. Um, according to Vegas, this might be the week to throw some money on some other players. According to my top five, it'd be time to throw some money on some other people, but uh, Alex and Mick there hopping on that Verstappen train. So you got any last minute thoughts here before we send it off?
I was trying to end on a little quirky joke, but I can't think of anything right now. I had some La La Land.
Is that how you want to start? You want to start ending the shows on like quirky jokes? I'd be okay with that. You start
That's
hit.
what I've been trying to do, but I just can't think of anything right now.
Oh no, come prepared next week. Hit me with like a knock knock to end it. Really,
No,
just
I'm
like
not doing that. I'm not doing
yes, this
that.
show
No,
is so
no,
bad
no.
anyways. Why not?
It's
You
not
should do
bad.
it.
It's not horrible. We at least
Oh
sound like we know what we're talking about.
no, we know nothing. You should hit me with a knock knock joke to end next Monday's show.
I'll see what I can come up with. We'll see.
No,
But you can't just like just announce it to everyone. Then it's like no surprise. There's no fun. Like
what the
it's
joke?
gonna be like quirky. Yeah, knock knock joke. Like if it's a
No,
joke in general, it's fine. But
I
knock
want to
knock,
make
just like
I want to make it your segment, Alex's joke.
my side. So I got to come up with a knock knock joke every week.
Yeah,
Great.
like knock knock, like who's there? Max. Max who? Not Max Verstappen because he's gone. Like jokes like that.
See, there you go. This should be your segment.
I don't know. That one was bad. I wasn't really
I
feeling.
feel like Max would have been really good at ding dong ditch.
No, I was gonna say he's uncoordinated, but he's not. He's
I,
really not.
I've never seen him run, so
Uh, who do you think would run the fastest out of these guys?
oof. That's tough. I think Ocon. I think he's the tallest, right? He's like 6'4", 6'5". He's a giant, if I'm right.
So you're
I feel like
saying
he has
Ocon?
yeah, I just think he has a longer stride than everyone else. Um, I think Bottas would finish in the top three. Not gonna
Okay,
lie to you. I
because of his
really do.
cycling.
yeah, because of the cycling, he's got crazy endurance. I mean, sprint and a jog are two different things, but I could definitely see him being decent at it.
Alex, my brother-in-law asked, "What do you get when you cross an angry sheep with an angry cow?"
I have no clue.
Think about it for a second, because the answer is not in
An
chat yet.
angry
So,
ba ba ba
angry
bamu
sheep with an angry cow. What did what'd you say?
bamu a bad mood. I have no idea. I'm going bad mood. That's my guess. Combining ba and mu.
Oh, we're on the edge of our seat here for the joke. Oh,
I'm
you were
still waiting
right.
for it.
You were
Is it
right.
bad mood?
Yeah.
That's a good way to end it.
Oh, let's go. I love that you figured that out, dude. I give you so much credit. That's the highlight of this show. See, we should just turn this into a joke show. And then like
No, it'd be horrible. It would be horrible, bro.
racing gets talked about just a little bit. Oh man.
Bad mood.
Oh man, that was a great way to end the show. That was probably like the lightest way to end our F1 segment. I love that. Oh
That was
man.
great. That was great.
All right. Well, yeah. Maybe we'll do some. Maybe we'll try to figure out to do some like live reactions during the race. So I'll post like our text messages, not our not screenshots of our text, but like, oh my god, my prediction picks are so wrong on like lap 4. Like, you know what I mean? We'll like post some of our thoughts. All right, brother. Well, hey, we had the most active chat we've ever had so far. So shouts
That's
out.
true. Yeah, it was nice interacting with chat here.
Yeah, and I don't even know where our graphics designer was. He would have been good in this. He probably had a joke or two.
Yo, 100% something lined up.
Oh, hey, too, because we're way past F1 at this point. One of the two of us on this screen right now won their dodgeball tournament this weekend, and it was not me. So, round of applause for
Yeah, it
Alex.
was somebody. That was all. I got carried. I'm not gonna lie to you. But one of us won MVP.
No,
Did we address that at all?
No one cares about that.
And just
Alex,
gave up the prize. Just
Alex,
gave up the prize. Didn't
Alex,
even try.
You can cry. You can try to deter. I started this. You won your tournament this weekend.
You won MVP and you won the dodgeball league, and then you abandoned me. So I don't know who won anything. I just got a broken heart is what I got.
You know what you sound like? Sound like when you cross an angry sheep with an angry cow. Oh shoot.
That was good.
All right. Well, hey, winner. I will. We'll be on what, Monday, 5:30 next week.
Yes, sir.
That's the plan. All right. We'll obviously next week we'll go over our picks. You'll see our point system. We had a couple new people in the chat here, so you'll get to see the results of our game, which is always fun. And what did I see? The month of July has like 4 or 5
every
races
weekend.
in it.
I think it's every weekend.
I think there's one off. So I think there's a race this weekend. It's off, and then there's a triple header, I think.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, so our shows will then become a review and a preview show in one. So there'll be a little bit. Those are like our endurance shows. They're a little bit longer. But hey, we enjoy it. We love F1. So that is that.
Yes, sir.
All right. Get your jokes ready for next Monday.
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you.
Take it easy. Deuce is MVP.
All right, guys. Well, like I said, it's gonna be a short show today. All things racing. I'll just spitball some stuff that happened over the weekend. Because honestly, some good things happened, and I got to see a little bit of it. Let's start with NASCAR here real quick. Ross Chastain gets the W at Nashville. I gotta be honest, I don't know if I'm a fan of these Sunday night NASCAR races, like when there's not a holiday the next day. I think it had something to do with heat. I read on the internet, and I get that. You know, temperatures in a car are extremely hot, but it's just like you're staying up pretty late on a Sunday night to watch NASCAR. It's not usually how it is. If there's a night race, it's usually on Saturday, And then Sunday races are midday, or like the Coca-Cola 600, for instance. That runs into the night, but Monday's off for Memorial Day. So, but Nashville is a pretty cool track. Ross Chastain gets the first W of the year. You know, obviously it's Ross Chastain, so there's always speculations about him with, you know, how he races and how hard, and if he was told to turn it down, and his results haven't been as good this year as the last year. So I guess if you're a Ross Chastain fan, it was good to get that W. Truex, strong car all night, but finishes second. Hamlin third, Chase Elliott fourth. Kyle Larson finishes fifth, Byron sixth, Bell seventh, Eric Jones eighth, Kyle Busch ninth, Allmendinger with a very solid run in 10th. And then, honorable mention for our guy, our Priest here, started way in the back, slapped down in the first stage, I know, and drove that car up to 16th, showed some speed, and that's a track that he hopped in a truck at and won. Tyler, yes, Blaney definitely got hosed. I caught like the tail end of that wreck. I think they were all checking up in front of him and just kind of odd. He got punted from behind. It was a really crazy situation. He kind of talked about it, and you know, the way he slid through the grass, it looked like he should have just kind of slid out of it. He wasn't really near the wall, and like in all things considered, he should either slid out of it, or because the car speed like slowed down so much, car should have just corrected itself. And that's what Blaney said in the interview like 4 times. He's like, I was confused as to what happened. But he starts sliding through the grass, and that car hooked, and he went straight into the wall. That is a great point, Ty. Like front end contact, you know, they were saying the whole end, just that right front and left front, basically hitting at the same time. That car was destroyed. And Blaney's had some good runs together. He's in the playoffs with that win from the Coca-Cola 600. So, you know, once you get that win, you're pretty good. But that car should have self-corrected. I think most people watching would have thought that, and you know, Blaney thought that too. And Blaney's not like a rookie for him to say that. He's been in these cars for a while, so he really expected that car to turn around and correct itself, and it was not doing that. So that was the NASCAR race. That's kind of what I caught for that. I didn't know. I think Xfinity race, Allmendinger won. Riley Herb second, Mayer third, Austin Hill fourth, Josh Berry fifth. Big Josh Berry news this week. He's taken over that 4 for Kevin Harvick. It was really cool. Tony Stewart was very quoted on Instagram and social media this week, saying like, I don't want someone whose dad's gonna just pay for them to give a ride, and that you know, he wants someone who earned it. And Josh Berry has with Junior Motorsports actually like threw some late model stuff together, and then really worked his way up through the ranks. So that's awesome for Josh Berry to join our guy Ryan Preece at Stewart-Haas next year. He finishes 5th. John Hunter Nemechek in 6th. Zane Smith in 7th. Daniel Hemrick 8th. Cole Custer 9th. Yeah, Pete. I know, because you were watching the race last night. You were thinking, oh, Blaney's going to come out of this fine. But he got both of us, Pete. Not just you. He got both of us. A host of our wins Friday night: Zane Smith 2nd, Sanchez 3rd, Corey Heim 4th, and a couple names I don't know here for the Truck Series. I've not been watching it that much. But the big thing that we need to talk about is the World of Outlaws. They go into what is their biggest payout, I think, ever, if definitely not if the year so far. And really cool, 4 nights of racing, which is awesome. It's a ton of racing. You absolutely love to see it. They were kind of they had a really cool format. They raced Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. They got points each night. You were able to throw away one of your nights, and that was your starting position, I think, for like the heat races on Saturday. And then your top 8, instead of doing a dash pill draw, they did this King of the Hill thing, where they put 2 cars out on the track at the same time. I believe it was Rico, and I forget who was 8th, who was the other guy. And the winner advanced. So Rico wins the first round, so the other guy starts 8th. So now Rico stays on the track. He does a 2-lap qualifying shootout with someone else. Loser goes to 7th. He continues. It's a format that's not used often throughout the year, if at any other point. And to see Rico was in the first groupings, and to put himself up in the 2nd place was pretty awesome to see. So not only is this track Huset's an amazing facility, they're $250,000 to win on Saturday. cool points format all the way through. I think other tracks who want to put on big shows, Knoxville kind of has their system set in stone and is great, but some of these other tracks who are looking to, like, how can we attract people besides the big prize purse, you gotta have this cool format. It was really cool. So Wednesday night, Kyle Larson is your winner of that, which we love to see. Our favorite driver in World of Outlaws is Gravel by far, but we love to see Larson, who bounces around between Cup and World of Outlaws. Larson's first. David goes from 12th to 2nd. Rico 3rd. Carson Macedo 4th. Corey Eliason 5th. So that's Wednesday night. Thursday night, another full night of show here. James McFadden picks up the W. Our guy David Gravel with another second place finish from 7th. Buddy Kofoid 3rd. Logan Schuchart 4th. Jacob Allen 5th. Friday night, I love this. I love that it's not like 2 nights of results that we get to go over. We get to go over all of this. Excuse me here. Friday night, Logan Schuchart 1st, Buddy Kofoid 2nd, Spencer Basin 3rd, Brad Sweet 4th, David Gravel 5th. And then we get to our race on Saturday here. Your winner, our guy here, number 2, David Gravel, picks up the big payday, $250,000. Rico 2nd, Kyle Larson 3rd from 6th. That was a great run for him. Logan 4th, Carson Macedo 5th. Thing we got to mention here, Buddy Kofoid blows up from the lead. He's got a new ride, it looks like, going forward with the Roth Motorsports. Buddy is so fast and talented, but hey, sometimes they say you got to be, better be lucky than good. David's no slouch being in that second position either. Wasn't handed to him, lost actually second to Schuchart, I believe, had to get it back from him. So big payday for our guy David Gravel. Also, I think it was a big milestone win too. I definitely don't think I'll be able to. Can't pull up there. Oh, yeah, all-time wins here. David with the 76 win, updated 6 days ago, so that might have been, I don't know when that is, but big wins for David, big money there, so that was super exciting. So from the racing side, we had a week off of Formula One, but we had good NASCAR, we had good World of Outlaws. I honestly didn't check out the motocross at all. To be honest, I'm on here longer than I thought was going to be today. Kind of had a lazy, kind of a chill show planned. Super appreciative of all you guys in the chat today, watching along, new subscribers. It was great to see the boy Mick in the chat, my brother-in-law Tyler, love you, bro. Carter's out here voting for Lewis Hamilton, so life is good. Pete's in the chat, my old man's in the chat, so all great stuff. So as always, hit that like and subscribe if you're watching this later. We're gonna bring some high juice into our review next week of the when we go over what happened at the Austrian Grand Prix. So things are gonna pick up. The goal was to keep this thing consistent and see how it rolled, and it's rolling not too bad here. So Alex is gonna have jokes for you next week too, so you're not gonna want to miss that. So as always, thanking my wife, taking care of my little man running around upstairs right now. I can hear him, so big shout out to her as always. So guys, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next Monday, excuse me. Hit up the social medias, hit up the comments, but have a blessed week, guys, and we'll see y'all later. Take care.